Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Spilling the Tea Leaves. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle. I am the owner and founder of Remember Love Healing. You can find me online at rememberlovehealing.com, or you can find me on Instagram, which is at Remember Love. I am a crystal Reiki master and teacher, an Usui Reiki master, a crystal therapist and healer. I am a wife and a mom and a nomad. I'm just trying to add as much stuff under my name as humanly possible, apparently, is what I'm trying to do. So, how are you? Today was the first day of in-person class for the kids here, and my daughter hasn't been to school since March of last year, which is crazy to think about. It's almost been a full year. And she wasn't so excited. I was super excited because I was like, yeah, I'm going to take pictures and it's going to be amazing. It's a 40-minute drive to the school, FYI. So I get there early because I'm gauging for traffic. And once I get there, I'm just like, oh, just sit in your desk. I want to take a picture. I want to take a picture. I want to take a picture. Do you know this child kicked me out? Once one of her friends got there, she's like, okay, Mom, you can go now. I was devastated. Just devastated. I was so upset. I was like, no, my baby. So it's a gloomy, rainy day today in Nairobi, which is odd for January. This is usually the warm season. They say it's good luck for it to be raining in January. So positive sign. All right. So today's episode, actually, before I jump in, I have a habit of not reading my comments on the podcast shows. It's not that I purposely avoid them. I record and I put it out there and it's exciting, but I have been reading some of the comments and I am absolutely touched and honored. I got a message last night from somebody that just literally made my whole year, saying that she loves the podcast. She's really enjoying it. And I was just so happy. It made me so happy. So if you can leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're enjoying the show. Let me know. I did, however, not everything is roses, get a comment from somebody who seems that they were listening to the earlier shows. And I must admit, the earlier shows, when we first started, I had a co-host. It could have been better. We were in the Middle East. I was in the Middle East. She was in New Zealand. The audio was not good. And basically, it was just two of us talking and chatting and everything else. But this person, I am not going to say their name, said talking in circles, talking over one another. One of them cackles and says like in most of the sentence. How is anyone listening to this? Blah, blah. Well, sorry, persons whose name starts with an A. I hope you come back and give it another chance. If not, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, or I'm not everybody's spilled tea leaves. And that's okay too. Some people are just not into the show, and that's okay. And then there are people who just like to be negative, and that's okay. Anyway, so today's episode is really exciting because it's something that I'm really, really passionate about and knowledgeable. For the most part, this is pretty much my favorite topic, right? So we're going to talk about financial abundance, but we're going to talk about crystals specifically regarding financial abundance. And then at the end, I'm going to give you some tips that you can do, or some people like to call them spells. Some people like to call them call it manifesting, and on how you can bring in financial abundance into your life. Now, financial abundance is a tricky subject for a lot of us. As you know, I don't know why I always bring this up. I grew up very, very poor. Mayonnaise sandwiches was what we ate. I'm not even joking. That's for real. We had mayonnaise sandwiches. And growing up like that, there was always I always had a weird relationship with money. I had a untrusting relationship with money, right? And I feel like a lot of us struggle with a healthy relationship with money. And that's, society kind of ingrains that in us too, where we If you're at a job, you're never supposed to ask about your wages or how much your partner's making as far as salary. Like, we just don't talk about money. They say that money is corrupt, money is dirty, money is no good, money doesn't solve everything. So we grew up with this like negative idea of money, that people who are wealthy or rich are most likely corrupt, they're no good, and they're up to no good. So whether we realize it or not, we start developing the idea that money is bad. So I want to invite you to take a look at what your relationship is with money. Do you hoard money like it's going to run out? Do you spend money and don't have an ability to save? Do you think money is bad? Do you think having a lot of finances is bad? Do you think that people who have money are bad? Really sit down and think about what money means to you. Once you figure that out, I am going to give you a little secret. When you change your perspective on your finances, things start opening up and changing for you. When you start thinking, money is good. I like money. I like having money. That doesn't make you greedy at all. What you're doing is you're calling forth that financial abundance. And if you still struggle with that, you can say, the more money I have, the more good I can do for others. The more money I have, the more good I can do for myself. The more money I have, the more I can do good for my family, and so on and so forth. And you can start shaping that relationship or that idea around finances and financial abundance. A lot of us is like, oh God, I wish I had more money. And it's really, really easy to say that. But once you have it, like, what is your idea around the green in the US, right? Or blues and pinks everywhere else. So really, once you figure that out, and then you can go on to this next step. And crystals are a really good way to start almost fixing that relationship and start focusing in on the positive side of finances and money. You can have a healthy relationship and you can call it forth, but you really have to fix yourself from the inside. And when I say fix yourself, I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you. I'm saying that as a society, we have been taught that if you work really, really hard, you'll have just enough to get by. But don't get too rich because money is not good. Don't talk about money with other people. It's really rude to talk about money, blah, blah, blah. I was reading a book. Actually, one of my favorite books ever is called Conversations with God. And it's by Neil Donald Walsh. I read it when I was in college and I'm always going back to reading it. As a matter of fact, I'm actually just got inspired myself to start reading it again tonight. And one of the things that really stood out for me a few years ago was if we all can somehow put how much money we have in our bank account over our foreheads, and it's so obvious to people, I guarantee you people would be so much nicer and giving. So if I'm going to the grocery store and I know that this mom in front of me who might look fine is positively in debt for whatever reason, people are more inclined to reach out into their pockets and help. People are more inclined to be giving because if I have a lot of money and I have a healthy relationship with money, I know that I can do more good and I can give it away, and the universe is going to support me by giving it back to me. And we're going to get into that whole universe manifestation thing towards the end. So crystals. The number one crystal I always recommend, and you've heard me say it before, is Smoky Quartz. Now, Smoky Quartz is a really, really grounding stone. I wear mine daily. This is how good it is to me and for you. I feel like everybody should just have a piece of Smoky Quartz, no matter the size. Have it in your pocket. Keep it somewhere where you visit often and indulge in the energies. Smoky Quartz is a really, really grounding stone. It helps to kind of keep your feet on the ground, but it also helps transmute almost unlimited amounts of negative energy, not only from other people. So if you have a Karen, sorry if your name is Karen, but it's just a name. If you have a Karen who is constantly berating you or attacking you, or it's somebody that you deal with often, somebody in your immediate family that you just can't get away from, this stone, what it does, it almost creates like a bubble or a shield where you are not absorbing those negative energies. This really helps with those energetic vampires as well. Those energy suckers that you just see them, you're just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm just tired. And they exist. I've dealt with several of them. And by the way, the higher you vibrate, the more these people are inclined to find you and drain that energy from you, right? So especially for empaths, if you're just starting on this journey and you still haven't worked out your boundaries, if you still haven't worked out your own energetic bubbles, this is an excellent tool to help you create that shield and not absorb those stagnant negative energies and have somebody protect you from somebody sucking out those energies, right? Now, Smoky Quartz, aside from being a grounding tool and transmuting negative energy from other people, it's also going to help mitigate that negative self-talk. So this vibrational energy helps you kind of stop you in your tracks when you're going down that path of, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is hard. I'm not good enough. I'm not worth it. I have no value. Money's bad. So all that negative self-talk, we internalize that as well. And Smoky Quartz stops it in its track and says, all right, you might be saying this, but we're not going to internalize any of this. This is not good for us. And so it also protects you from yourself. And sometimes we are our own worst enemies. I mean, unfortunately, we just can't get out of our own way. And that happens sometimes. So Smoky Quartz is really, really good. I wear it often. And even if you're not fully into the idea of crystals or stones, I get it. We're not there yet. For some of us, your journey's not there. Fully understand, totally respect it. Even having the stone is going to remind you not to talk to yourself like that. Sometimes if you had a friend that talked to you the way you talk to yourself, you probably wouldn't be friends with that person anymore. So even having the stone on you is going to remind you, hey, I don't need to talk to myself like that. It's unnecessary. It's counterproductive, and we're not standing for it. So Smoky Quartz is going to remove those negative thoughts, remove those negative habits, and stop you when you say, oh, I don't deserve this. Oh, money, I'm not good with money. I don't know how to take care of money. My work is not valuable. My work isn't worth it. And I know you're kind of either driving or listening to this right now saying, oh yeah, I do say that sometimes, right? So yeah, we're not doing that anymore. It's 2021. The more finances we have, the more money we have, the more good we can do, right? There was a meme that says Jeff Bezos has missed an opportunity because if I had as much money as they did, people would not be going hungry on my watch. And that is a great meme to remember, because I'm like, yeah, damn, if I had all the money, people would not be going hungry on my watch. You need money? Boom. You need surgery? Boom. I got you, fam. So Smoky Quartz, that's the number one. And that is more for us. That's going to remove that negative self-talk. The next stone is a stone that I use often, and that is malachite. Now, malachite is a green stone. It is a banded stone. I want to, before I jump into malachite, give you a little bit of warning. A lot of the malachite that I've been seeing online right now is fake. It's dyed. It's clay, actually, and painted clay, and it looks like clay, as a matter of fact. So be really mindful on when you purchase, or if you purchase a piece of malachite, where you're getting it from. And if you look at it and it just looks either too perfect, or it almost has like a dull texture or dull finish like clay or like Play-Doh, it's probably fake. Malachite usually comes in a very polished form, not polished super shiny, but polished where you can see it and say, okay, yeah, it's clean. A lot of the times, because unpolished malachite can be hazardous to your health, and malachite powder as well. I'm actually looking for, in Kenya, they have malachite mines, and I'm actually looking for somebody locally that I can support to get some pieces for us and have them available on rememberlovehealing.com or on Instagram. So malachite. I always keep a piece of malachite in my wallet. Malachite it maintains a healthy emotional balance, but it also helps you refuse temptation. We know we buy stuff that we do not need. We buy stuff that does not help us on our journey to claim our purpose, to find our purpose. And we have been accustomed in our society to just buy. We just buy because it's old, because this toaster is old, and then there's a new shiny toaster, and we've become so accustomed to it that it's no longer serving us. It's no longer serving our purpose. When I first got here to Kenya, I was actually kind of embarrassed when we started unpacking all our stuff, because I'm like, I have so much crap that I don't need, right? I just don't, and then it hurts me that I've indulged is the word, in excess. That's what it feels like. I've indulged in excess, right? So malachite is going to help us keep that balance of, yeah, we can self-care and indulge and maybe buy this little whatever that we might like, but we're not going to go into excess to the point where we are going to go into debt on things that we don't need, because we have a perfectly good working whatever at home, and you don't need a new one. You don't need the latest one. You can see that with the phones too. As soon as the iPhone comes out, people are like, I want the new iPhone, and they go nuts, and people are standing in line. And it's not that big of an upgrade. There's not a lot of new features that are worth the difference, and you just spent $1,000 and change last year. So being mindful of that, malachite is going to help us keep that balance, and then keep us emotionally balanced, because sometimes we're like, oh yeah, I want it. And our emotions get into the state of wanting until we have it, right? Keep it in your wallet, keep it in your purse, or keep it in a space where you have your money, you have your credit cards, you have your whatever that you use to spend. Malachite also calls forth the money. It's going to remind you that, yeah, this is free flowing financial abundance, and you are a money magnet. It's coming to you. Pyrite is another one. Pyrite is wonderful, especially for those of you who have a small business. Keeping pyrite on your desk is going to call forth, again, that money. It's going to keep you financially abundant. It's going to vibrate so it removes those blocks, so you're able to make those business deals, so you're able to make those sales, so you're able to make those transactions that are going to make you financially abundant, financially stable, wealthy, whatever word you want to use. The next one, and it's a really, really popular one, but they don't really explain why it's popular, so I'm going to explain it to you here. The next one is citrine. Now, citrine is probably the premier stone for financial abundance. And it's not because it's gold color, which does help, but citrine works by harmonizing and balancing your sacral chakra and your solar plexus. And some people argue also your root as well, but I'm going to focus on your sacral and your solar plexus. Your sacral chakra, when it is off balance, it inhibits or kind of slows down your ability to manifest. It's your ideas, your imagination, your creativity, your ability to call forth and manifest into this universe, into this realm, is located at your sacral chakra, which makes sense because this is where we house our sexual organs and where we are able to create life. So you are creating from this space. When that is off balance, you are negating all that. You're not able to manifest in an easier fashion. You have trouble putting that creative energy out there. So citrine is going to bring that balance back. Now, crystals are a tool. Again, you have to be actively working on, why is this area off balance? Because once you are past a certain point, sometimes you start manifesting diseases. So being mindful and meditating and making sure that your energetic centers are healthy is imperative to healthy chakras. Now, your citrine also connects to your solar plexus. Your solar plexus, that is your sun, that is your firehouse, that is your ambition, that is your sense of independence, your sense of responsibility. That is where a lot of us who are have a victim mentality or tend to be codependent that's where that problem area is, right? That's where you are stagnant. Now, when your solar plexus, which is your work, like this is your workhorse, that's your drive area, and your sacral chakra are in balance and in harmony, you are able to manifest so much easier. I can't even emphasize this, like so much easier, right? Like things you're going to call for things so easily where and this has happened to me. This happens to me all the time. This is where my energy centers are in check because they go off balance, guys. This is not like a one and done thing. Like, oh, they're in balance now, I'm good for forever. No, things come at you and it puts you off kilter. So this is constant work, like constant work. You think about something and all of a sudden within minutes it's there. Or you think about something, anything, and all of a sudden somebody is presenting it to you. I've had instances where I'm like, oh God, I need to go buy some flowers. And I kid you not, within 30 seconds, the landlord at our old house had shown up to my house with 4 dozen roses and said, hey, my brother-in-law owns a rose factory or a rose farm, and he gave me all these roses, and I thought of you, and I would love to gift this to you. And I was floored when that happened. I was like, oh my God, I'm really a witch. I'm a witch. This is amazing. And this is the same for finances, for wealth, for money, for green or pink or purple, whatever your currency is, where you're just like, I need to manifest $800. And boom, it's there because your energy is there. Your energy levels are right and the universe is providing back to you. And you're working. I'm not saying you're going to manifest all this stuff if you're sitting there unemployed or just wishing for it, because now that's a whole other set of energy centers that are off balance. If I'm sitting at my desk and I am working and I am putting that energy out there, that's my solar plexus, and my manifesting power is in balance with my sacral, and that is what I'm going to call for. But I'm just not going to sit there like a lazy potato and just wish for it, because then it's just wishful thinking. I mean, maybe it might work, but it's going to be a heck of a lot harder. I promise you that. So citrine is really, really good to have in order to make sure that these two stones are in harmony and in balance. I like to wear bracelets with citrine. There is a debate between heated citrine or treated citrine, or heated, and untreated citrine. For those of you that don't know the difference, treated citrine or heated citrine, they heat amethyst. So molecularly, they're the same, except when you heat amethyst, it turns into like this. yellowy golden brown, and that is considered treated citrine. Untreated citrine is closer to a champagne color, so it's really light. If you see them together, there's a clear difference. Are the energies different? I don't think so. I think that the energy is almost the same and they both function the same. Untreated citrine is kind of pricey because it's not as abundant as amethyst, but heated citrine still works. You can still use it for its intended purposes. So how do we put some work out there? How do we physically get this energy moving ourselves? So if crystals are not your thing, or if you want to do a little more, I love you and good idea. So some of the things that you can do aside from pulling malachite in your wallet and pyrite on your desk is, I'll give you 3 or 4. I'll give you a few. All right. So when you spend money, so you're going to the store, you're going to Target, you have your coffee, and you're buying your essentials and things that you need. And maybe you bought like a top or one of those a new makeup set. I'm imagining Target shopping right now because I haven't been to Target in forever. So you got your stuff, you're at your checkout, you're paying, your total comes up. Before you hand over your money, before you hand over your card or your swipey thingy or whatever jazz that we're doing now, because I don't know, think in your head, this money that I am spending is going to come back to me threefold. And make sure you do that for every single transaction. Every transaction. As soon as you say it with confidence, because our citrine is allowing us to manifest and call forth that energy, this money that I am spending is going to come back to me threefold. And you give it. You can say it in your head. I mean, the cashier at Target's going to look at you weird if you say it out loud. But this money that I am spending is going to come back to me threefold. And you hand over your card, your swipey thing, whatever you're doing. And you do that at every transaction. So what you're doing is now you are affirming. That's an affirmation. That's an active affirmation that you're putting out to the world, that every time you spend money, it's going to come back to you threefold. And you know what? The universe is going to do just that. It's going to come back to you threefold, or fourfold, or fivefold, or whatever fold that you want to do. I like to use threefold just because 3 is my number. And 3 is a very powerful number. So I put it out there. This money come back to me threefold. The other thing that you can do is before you go to bed, and I've said this before you go to bed, or if you are in a moment of quiet and you have time for an affirmation, say the following: I am a love and money magnet. Now, this is my secret. This one is my secret meditation or secret affirmation. And I say this when I am in a spot where I'm just like, oh, crud, I have to. All these things are due for my license, for my business. And it's like X amount of money. All right. And I just say it the night before. I am a love and money magnet. And I will say that over and over and over again until I fall asleep. And it's my affirmation and my mantra. And you know what? The next day, it's in my account. I have the sales and the money is in my account. So get into the habit of doing this one. This one I find so powerful and so easy, especially because you're falling asleep and your mind is more open, your inhibitions are suppressed, and you're in a peaceful space. Unless, it's not in a peaceful space, and then you might just change your affirmation to something else. So I am a love and money magnet. Try that one this week. If you listen to nothing else, try that one this week. I promise you it's going to work. The next one is a tea spell, tea handy thing. So this is technically a spell. It's been used a lot within brujas and witches and green witches, or people who are just into an active being an active participant in their the way they manifest. So some people pray over their food. This is a little bit like that. So mint tea. If you can find mint tea, I recommend fresh mint. If you can go to the store and grab a little bunch of mint. Not the tea bags as much, because it doesn't work unless you rip open the tea bag, which is another thing. But fresh tea mints. Grab the tea, little bit of honey, because we're going to make that financial abundance stick. We're going to sweeten it and make it sticky so that money sticks to us, because we are a money magnets. And as you crush the leaves a little bit, just to get some of the flavor out. Some people slap the leaves. Whatever you do, put your leaves in your cup and your honey, pour your hot water, and then you're going to stir clockwise. And as you stir clockwise, you are going to say the following. You can say, I am a love and money magnet. That works. You can make any sort of affirmation or spell or words that you choose, whatever you feel comfortable with. I like to say, I call to me financial abundance and love with a clear path. And I'll say that about 7 times, because 7 is my number. You can say it as many times as you want. You can hold a crystal while you're saying it. I've seen people have crystals at the end of their spoons. Not in the water. Please don't do that, especially with malachite. It's very, very dangerous and toxic. But if you are holding the stone and you're meditating, and sit outside with your tea and sip it slowly with intention. And if you want to repeat the affirmation, you are more than welcome to do that. And you're good. So these are my tips for financial abundance. We got to work on our relationship, right? So work on your relationship with money, open up the clear path, and make sure. What works for me is saying this money is going to help so many people. It's going to help me clear my path so that I'm able to be present and help others. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Again, my name is Michelle. You can find me online at rememberlovehealing.com. I do have an ebook, a PDF available if you want to learn more about each chakra, bringing balance to each energetic center and what crystals work. It's loaded with graphics. It has lots of information on what each energetic center does, what crystals can work, foods, meditations, guides, a bunch of stuff. So if you're interested, go to my website, rememberlovehealing.com. If you sign up to our newsletter, you also get a coupon code for that ebook. So I'm already saving you money. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope I brought some value into your day. If you enjoyed it, I invite you to please leave a comment on whatever platform you listen to. I invite you to subscribe. And I also have YouTube, so if you want to subscribe, I will be uploading the podcast episodes there as well. So if you're working and you just want to listen because your boss is on you about wearing headphones or listening to your phone, I'm on YouTube. Love and light, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of the Remember Love Healing community, the Remember Love family. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Love and light, and take care of yourselves. Bye.